Hello and welcome everybody. Today let's try to settle the debate. Who is the more powerful Avenger in the MCU? Is it Captain Marvel or is it Scarlet Witch? We have seen both of them do some incredible feats, be it Scarlet Witch destroying an Infinity Stone or Captain Marvel tearing down an entire Kree fleet on her own. So who would win in a head-to-head fight? We are only going to consider the MCU versions and not the comics. As in the comics, Scarlet Witch is way too powerful for Captain Marvel. It won't even be a fair fight. But in the movies, Scarlet Witch's powers are significantly nerfed down, making her more vulnerable. So with that out of the way, let's break down their powers and weaknesses to understand who will have the upper hand in a combat.
This is that moment, Beers. Turn off the light show and prove to me you can beat me without...
Captain Marvel got her powers from the light speed engine that was powered by the energy of the Space Stone. Captain Marvel absorbs that fraction of Space Stone's energy, which transforms into what Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has described to be the strongest Avenger. Her capacity is further improved by Kree training and the Kree blood transfusion. Captain Marvel possesses the capability of flight, and she can absorb energy and create energy blasts, which can either be directed like photon blasts or they can be explosion-like, doing area damage. What makes Captain Marvel even more formidable is her insane durability when she is in her binary form. We saw her single-handedly destroying Thanos' ship in Avengers Endgame, while she flew through all the blasts and firepower that were directed towards her without taking any damage. Thanos had to use the Power Stone to neutralize her, and perhaps if he hadn't done that, then that would have been game over for him. But even though Captain Marvel has incredible durability, strength and energy abilities, she had some limits. In spite of her superhuman strength, she wasn't able to take off Gauntlet from Thanos, and also we didn't see her dealing any critical damage to the Mad Titan. And then there is the fact that Captain Marvel also needs to keep recharging herself by absorbing energy to maintain her binary form. If she loses her binary form, Captain Marvel becomes vulnerable, as her capacity to take damage is reduced significantly, and also she can't fly in her normal form. And last but not the least, Captain Marvel is vulnerable to mind control. So Scarlet Witch, who could get into the head of Thor, who is the god of thunder, and as he himself says in Age of Ultron, his mind is strong enough to not be influenced by a mortal being. So if a Scarlet Witch can manipulate Thor's mind, she can definitely manipulate Captain Marvel's. Now let's talk about the strength and weaknesses of a Scarlet Witch. She got her powers from the Mind Stone, as the stone unlocked her latent potential. With time, Scarlet Witch is getting better with her powers, as she's understanding how her powers work and what their true limits are. With each passing movie, we have seen her do bigger and bigger feats, from tearing down Ultron's army in Age of Ultron, to defeating Vision by manipulating his density in Captain America Civil War, to destroying an Infinity Stone and holding off Thanos, who already had 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones in Avengers Infinity War, to destroying Thanos' armor and his weapon in Avengers Endgame. The same weapon that broke Captain America's vibranium shield and deflected Thor's Stormbreaker. Thus, Scarlet Witch's magic can tear down even the most durable things in the universe, there's no doubt about that. Another interesting thing about her powers is that they are magical in nature. So just like Doctor Strange, her powers too are mystical. Thus, the Scarlet Witch's magic bolts isn't something that Captain Marvel can absorb. We haven't yet seen in the movies, but in the comics, magic is another major weakness of Captain Marvel. So this gives the Scarlet Witch another edge over Carol Danvers. As powerful and mystical Scarlet Witch is, she has some gaping weakness which greatly hurts her chances while taking on some of the most powerful beings in the MCU. For starters, she has very poor durability, as she is just a normal human being. One normal bullet is enough to kill her. Other problems associated with human physique are that she can't survive in space. She has limited stamina and lacks superhuman speed and awareness, so it's easy to catch her off guard and knock her out. In Avengers Infinity War, we saw her struggle with Proxima Midnight at 2 separate occasions. First while she was defending Vision from Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive, and then towards the end of the movie when she fights her along with Black Widow and Okoye. So Scarlet Witch has incredible powers, but at the same time, she is incredibly vulnerable. A single punch from Captain Marvel is enough to knock her out. So when these two fight head to head, each of them will have to safeguard their weaknesses and play along with their strengths as they counter each other's attacks. Starting with the Scarlet Witch, she will need to have some kind of shield to counter her poor durability. The Scarlet Witch not only has to create a shield, but she needs to maintain it for the entire duration of the fight. and the shield needs to be strong enough to withstand punches and energy blasts from the OP Captain Marvel. We haven't yet seen her do that, but in theory, she should be able to do it. Another major downside for Scarlet Witch is her lack of experience. Captain Marvel has at least 30 years of combat experience, whereas she has only 5 years of training. So longer the fight prolongs, higher will be the chances for Captain Marvel. Thus, Scarlet Witch needs to finish things as soon as she can, and the best weapon that she has in her arsenal is the mind control. But to make that happen, she needs to get close enough to Carol Danvers and catch her by surprise, which is easier said than done. Other than that, Scarlet Witch should be able to contain energy blasts from Captain Marvel, but this is where the limited stamina comes into play. While Captain Marvel can keep on shooting her photon blasts, Scarlet Witch can only counter so many of them before she finds herself exhausted. And as we have seen in the past, her major feats require her unhinged focus and they often leave her drained out. Can Scarlet Witch pin down Captain Marvel as she did Thanos in Avengers Endgame? Well, with Captain Marvel, that is going to be incredibly difficult, as Captain Marvel can not only fly out of the trap, but she can also break free with her insane energy blasts. Thus, more we analyze it, more evident it becomes that in the MCU, Scarlet Witch will have a hard time beating Captain Marvel. And it is not because she is less powerful, but it has more to do with her glaring weaknesses, which are way more crippling for her than it is for Carol Danvers. With time, as Scarlet Witch trains and understands her power, she will grow better at safeguarding her vulnerabilities. But at this point, she isn't quite there yet. But that said, if Scarlet Witch somehow manages to mind control Captain Marvel from a larger distance, then it will be a different story altogether. But to sum it up, as of now, Captain Marvel wins 8 of 10 fights against Scarlet Witch. But if in the near future we get to see the comics version of Scarlet Witch in the MCU, then the results would be just reversed. Let me know in the comments, who do you think can currently defeat Captain Marvel in the MCU? With that, we'll bring this video to an end. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more upcoming content.